Alright, hello everybody, welcome back once again to another stream for the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2024. We've got the last two matches of the tournament, the last weekend of matches for our grand finals. Up first, we've got our third place match to determine who goes home with the bronze and who goes on to face South Korea in the final grand finals. Malaysia versus Philippines, our number 3 and number 4 seed. Gonna be a heck of a match. I'm Tote Daddy, one of your commentators, joined not by one, but two of my fellow commentators here, Sparky and Raviel. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic as always. Rav, how you doing?
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. A rematch of the 2022 loser bracket finals. Malaysia and Philippines also hoping to try and get their spot into the top 2 and face South Korea tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if we're going on what happened last time these two met in this third place match, we did see Philippines take the victory to go on and face South Korea in the grand finals. So we might be seeing a repeat of history, but I know Neo and Chiwi don't want that repeat to happen, so they're going to be putting up as much of a fight as they can.
Yeah, Malaysia already tying their personal best in 7 key, making it this far. If they were to fall, they'd be matching it, but I mean, given their level of performance as a duo this time around, it's one to rival that of the Philippines, who needed to pull off a bit of a Herculean effort against China last weekend to make it here, taking it all the way to tiebreaker after being down, almost 4 or 5 maps. So, I mean, Malaysia's gonna give the Philippines a run for their money, but Philippines proving that they definitely have the resources to pull through when needed.
Yeah, and one player to point out over in the Philippines side is Kura, who played every single map in the finals weekend and averaged 99.39% accuracy and got 11 MVPs against China. So that's one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, certainly putting in the work, and I mean, that has kind of been the case for the Philippines team for quite a while, especially in these late stages of the Mania World Cups. Kura has just been putting on the leader pants and trying to, carry the Philippines off to the races. And they managed to win it last year, so if Kura wants a chance at getting that victory, I think they're going to have to show another really impressive performance today.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of Kura being absolutely lights out once again this year, they're going to need the support of the 3 teammates that they have as well. Going to be looking to whoever will be partnering up with them, because you imagine Kura will probably be anchoring that Philippines roster throughout this entire proceeding. And it looks like we are into the rolls, and it looks like Malaysia will be getting the first protect in this match.
Area Tensei going to be protected out there. That's going to be the density long no pick getting protected, which is maybe a little bit interesting. If I were to see any LN picks getting protected, I would have expected it to be one of the more coordination heavy maps like LN2 or even maybe like LN4.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, Malaysia has kind of trended towards these more LN focused protects. It was just a matter of which one they might have felt most comfortable swinging a good team performance on, because the consideration also is the fact that Chiwi has been a lights out performer for Malaysia, and Neo has really stepped it up this year to lend their support where absolutely necessary. So that's probably where they probably get the best combined score as we wait for Philippines to throw out their protect. I imagine one of these rice maps is going to be remaining in this pool, if I were to harken a guess here.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like Rice 1 would probably be a good choice for them to protect.
I can definitely see something like Rice 1 being protected. I guess it really depends what angle they want to take. I don't think going for a protect on any of the more straightforward Rice maps is really going to be ideal. I don't think Malaysia is looking to ban Rice 2 or Rice 3 or Rice 4. I would imagine they're going to be looking at the rest of them as potential ban fodder. And in that situation, in my eyes, the most likely ban has to be Rice 5 or Rice 1.
Yeah, it's really just gonna come down to whatever the Philippines protects. Malaysia might just default to whatever is left open, but I do agree that they're probably not going to want to get rid of these more straightforward charts. Like you mentioned, Rice 1 through Rice 4 probably going to be opted to be kept in this map pool, and they'll probably want to pivot towards removing one of these more mixed Rice tech-oriented picks. So right now we are still just waiting on the Philippines to throw out their protect. We can deliberate a little bit further as to what else might be a potential protect for them. They do definitely have the composition to swing LN performances, but I probably don't expect them to want to contest Malaysia on those LN picks unless absolutely necessary.
I mean, we talk about Rice and LN. What about the hybrids? I feel that maybe Hybrid 1 is also a good choice, but they are going for the LN 1 protect.
Okay. Double LN protect. That's a fascinating move in this scenario.
Yeah, for sure. And it does set up a couple of implications here where we're probably going to see a flashpoint somewhere in this match where if we deviate from the usual Rice versus LN dichotomy and both these countries kind of settle on playing this lower half of the map pool, then whichever country ventures out into those Rice picks first, depending on what style they want to go for of those picks, whoever wins that first Rice pick might be the one to eke out a tiny bit of an advantage in this match to really turn the tide in their favor.
Yeah, I guess that Rice pool is going to be a really interesting point of contention. On top of that, the hybrid pool is going to get... What is happening?
Huh?
This is interesting.
If Malaysia bans a long no map, I swear.
It just seems like both these teams really like or dislike their noodles.
A very polarizing pool. Okay, Rice 1. Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, I was talking about how Philippines could have protected that. They chose not to, and now it's getting banned.
Now they're sad about it.
Yeah. I doubt it.
No,
Immediately.
I thought that said no. That says Neo.
Neo.
So maybe just mentioning the other players. But the protect comes out immediately from Malaysia. So
yeah.
LN3 looking to stay comfortable right out the gate. I can't hate the strategy.
Yeah, for sure. Just given an opportunity to kind of settle into this match, it is arguably the most important match for both of these countries. And what better way to do it than ensuring that you at least get that comfort pick out of the way, kind of set the tone a little bit. Don't go into any of the riskier picks. No need to kind of venture out beyond the comfort zone. But I know we'll see who comes in for this for the Philippines. Looks like it is going to be Sani and Oji-san, also known as Kura, if we are keeping track along. And it looks like they are ready. We're going to get into this first map of this best of 13. First team to 7 points will set themselves up with a date with South Korea in that winners grand finals.
Yeah, just to refresh everybody's minds, this is the LN density pick.
I think that'll become pretty clear pretty quickly.
Yes, it will.
Very, very dense, very almost inverse oriented. Chiwi with an early drop though. Before the 400 combo mark, another drop. That is uncharacteristic of Chiwi, potentially keyboardish.
Oh my gosh.
But that's a full reset from Malaysia early on their own protect, and they've already given Philippines a 7,000 point lead.
Yeah, it is early, but you can see Sani's accuracy quite lingering under Oji-san, but Neo takes another miss, dipping below 99%, and the Philippines have a 5-digit point lead, but Sani does find the miss. It's traded back and forth with Neo.
Looks like Chiwi was able to find that footing there, so it's just Oji-san and Chiwi holding on to the combo for the time being, but Neo and Sani both getting above 400 combos, so it's going to stop the bleeding, but Neo finding another break, back up to that 5-digit score gap.
Yeah, it's really just this battle beginning to develop between Neo and Sani on the top half. Meanwhile, Chiwi and Oji-san starting to cancel each other out. Actually, Chiwi winning that battle by about 0.2%, but Oji-san does have the advantage of holding on to that full combo. But Chiwi, the fact that they found those misses very early on kind of negates any potential score loss. As we make our way into the last third of the chart here, an opportunity for everybody to kind of regain their composure, build up some combo, build up some accuracy. We see Neo and Sani now tied neck and neck as this lead begins to dip drop down ever so slightly below that 10,000 points as Sunny finds a massive drop traded by Neo once again, but the lead has shrunk to 3,000 points going into the last quarter here.
Yeah, it's all on Chiwi now for Malaysia because Neo is finding all these misses. But Philippines as well, like Sunny dropped all the way down to 98.65. So over on their side, it's all on Oji-san.
Yeah, overall, Malaysia does have the accuracy lead off of that, but the combo game is just too strong on the Philippines side, and Oji-san with the full combo is going to carry Philippines to an opening breakpoint.
Oh,
Grand Finals pool! Grand Finals pool FC.
This is just Kura. Kura just FC's Grand Finals maps. You should know this by now. And to be fair, Chiwi have almost exactly the same score.
The same 200 count.
That is ridiculous. Just neck and neck. And it looked like for a moment their Philippines was going to be able to skyrocket just out of contention on that map, but some crucial moments in the middle portions of that chart really brought Malaysia back into the fold. It was just the fact that those inopportune misses from Neo towards the end, just re-giving the Philippines that advantage. That map could have gone either way, but Philippines crucially taking the first breakpoint in this match to make it 0-1 now with their pick now.
Do we see a double protect pick right out the gate? I wouldn't hate that from the Philippines. I mean, they just got a breakpoint, and the best chance for them to really solidify that breakpoint in their favor would probably be to go with their protect. So I could also see something like Bryce 5 coming out.
The contrast, though, between density and release, which is LN1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a complete flip in terms of what you're being asked to do between those two LN charts. I always like to say whenever you get a breakpoint in these matches, you kind of allow yourself the opportunity to expand and venture out into the unknown. And we never talked about the hybrids throughout the build-up to the first pick here. And the Philippines gonna go for hybrid 1. It's gonna be Seraphim here.
Yeah, I was trying to talk about the hybrids, but then the Philippines decided to protect a long node map after Malaysia already protected one. So I got interrupted. But yeah, these hybrids are an interesting point of contention. It's going to be a little bit on the confusing side as far as like what to maybe expect. We did just see Philippines perform very well on the density picks, so I could see them performing well on the Rice parts of this and the LN parts of this. It's just a matter of whether how Malaysia's feeling on this sort of, diverse type of map.
I think something to point out as well is to also find out whether or not Neo is able to keep up with the intensity of the difficulty bump of this Grand Finals pool.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be something to watch out for as we venture on into this first hybrid pick. Bit of a build up here before we get into the real dense portions, but Neo already finding the drop very early on. Not what you want to see if you are supporting Malaysia here, but it is very early on. It's before that 400 combo cap, so the score loss, not the most devastating as if it were somewhere in the middle portion, so we'll see if they can recover from it here.
They also have plenty of opportunity to get back up to that 400 combo mark without too much other errors given the build-up, but we're just about to get into the real sections of this map. The dense core stream coming in. Neo with an early break in that section as well, going to extend that lead for Philippines just a little bit, but this is a similar story to what we were seeing on LN3. Accuracy generally favoring Malaysia. Sani trading one of those misses out, and this lead's going to stay very close with the double full combo from Chiwi and Oji-san.
Oh, you say it, but Chiwi does find the miss and drops all the way down to 98.5. Sunny does find the miss as well. It's just Oji-san 99.7 FCing, and that is the bulk of that lead.
On top of that was a huge accuracy drop from Chiwi, all the way down to the 98.6 range, and another break. Oh, full lobby wipe there, and that actually hurt Philippines more. This leads down to 5,000.
Sunny's accuracy.
Yeah, Sonny's accuracy starting to really dip down into the 97s now as everybody taking substantial damage through all of these Grace Note sections, all these staircase runs, the releases, everything involved in this chart, really just taking everybody for a ride. And as we make our way into the back half, it is too close to call between these two countries. Inside of 1,000 points, Malaysia starting to lead back in their favor. Chiwi starting to build back up, supported by Neo, but actually Neo picking up the reins here for Malaysia, able to lead the charge as Chiwi finds yet another drop, not traded back by the Philippines, and it's their opportunity to build up this advantage once again.
Yeah, and just look at that accuracy from OG-san. Only player above 99%, 99.1, carrying the Philippines to have this 3,000 point lead as Neo finds a break. Both Philippines players holding on to the combo in this section. We still have a third of the map left to go. And it's only 3,000 points as we go into this short break.
You have to give some kudos to Sani as well. After that horrendous drop down in 97, is able to still hold on to that 2,000 combo.
They need to be able to keep up that performance though.
Oh no!
Oh, you said that! And the lead switches right back to Malaysia as Sani finds that break. And now it's Malaysia's turn to hold on to the combo, but she retrades it. OG-san and Neo holding on to the combo. OG-san with a 3,000 combo at this point, still holding on to 99. Both Malaysian players trying to build up that accuracy, but Neo finds a drop in an inopportune time, and it's now about 10,000 points as we're running into the final bits of the chart. But Sadie finds a break as well.
Is there time? I don't think there's enough time. This ending is getting quite calm. I think OG-san might have done it. And Neo does find a final miss at the end. OG-san again! MVPing the lobby for Philippines to take a second point in a row.
Just look at the 200 discrepancy between the players. Like, the lowest on Malaysia was 95 from Neo. OG-san down at 69.
I mean, you look at the miscount. Look at the miscount!
That too!
Inhuman.
Ridiculous. Yeah, inhuman. I mean, they're an MWC champion for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, proving why they were able to take the title last year, really stepping up to the plate here. But, I mean, that was not without some level of contention during the midpoints of that chart. Just as things started to get even more dense, the chart starting to fly off the rails. The damage was being done, but credit to Sani being able to make that recovery run. We've seen in the past people dip down below that 98% range and they just kind of linger there trying to stabilize, but no, being able to build back up that accuracy to make themselves a force to consider. As Malaysia started to find the drops, they were in a position to capitalize, and Philippines able to capitalize on that breakpoint, make it 2-0 to start this match off with Malaysia up to pick. And now, what do they go for? They lost the Protect, they lost the Hybrid. Do they potentially pivot to the Rice charts?
I was kind of thinking that. I was about to mention that I thought LN5 was what they were going to go with, just because it's the most similar to LN3 that's left in the LN pool. Something that I do want to note that's potential for later on, we did see during that Hybrid 1 pick that the Jack section messed almost everybody up, but Philippines was having a real tough time with it. So I could definitely see Rice 4 being a potential area of attack that Malaysia wants to go with, but for now they're staying with their comfort picks, and LN5 is going to be coming up.
Well, strap yourselves in. 4 minutes. The longest map.
Definitely a bit of a, if not a physical stamina check, just a mental stamina check. LN that goes on for this long definitely wears away at you at this key mode, so definitely expect to see some dips towards the back half just because of the fact that being able to maintain the releases for as long as this chart demands of it is very hard.
Definitely is. The patterns themselves are also not terribly easy, though it is much more consistency focused, though very O2 jammy, which can certainly be uncomfortable to a certain extent, having those dumpy type of LN patterns throughout this entire map, and on top of that 4-minute aspect of it, just gonna be a real test for these players.
Yeah, real test for Neo as well. They are not having fun with this map pool so far, which is gonna give that lead to Philippines for the moment.
Yeah, and once again, just very early on, so damage accrued not going to be as bad as if it were somewhere in the middle. And the fact that the length is over that 4-minute mark gives them plenty of opportunity to make up the score in the long run. If they can just hold on to some semblance of combo, just breach that maybe 2k, 3k combo mark to offset any potential misses further on down the road, is going to prove to be pivotal as we make our way into the second quarter here.
Yeah, nothing too difficult for these players yet. Just the one break from Neo early on in the map. Sani trading that back. Now, a big break, a second one as well. Going to shrink that lead just a little bit. It looks like Malaysia's going to take it over with the 2 full combos on Chiwi and Oji-san. Very similar to what we've been seeing in every other map.
Yeah, it's so...
But that lead, Neo with the miss. The lead goes by the Philippines, but Oji-san does find another miss. And it's just Chiwi with the FC.
Oh, this is too close to call once again. Neo finding it in a drop. Only one player remaining standing during that section. It is going to be Chiwi, but the fact that, I was about to say, Oji-san able to hold on to the accuracy now falls back into the clutches of Chiwi, and now Malaysia has an opportunity to start clawing back some of this deficit inside of 1,000 points. This is a very fragile lead for the Philippines to stand on, and as we make our way into the back half, they need to be able to hold on if they want to try and capitalize on this opportunity.
Absolutely, it is still Philippines' advantage for the time being. They do have slightly better accuracy, not by a whole lot, and definitely not enough to extend this lead anymore. And it actually looks like it might be shrinking just a little bit as Chiwi and Neo are trying to build up, but it is still going to stay about 500 points in Philippines as we hit this chorus. And an accuracy drop coming out from Sani actually is going to give Malaysia the lead right there, and everyone holding onto the combo through this chorus.
You have to give some credit to Neo as well. They were holding 98, now holding 99, and that is what is making that difference as Sani finds another miss. Oji-san finds a miss themselves. Chiwi is just tanking through all of these with the FC still. And Malaysia have a 6,000 point lead, but we'll see if they can hold on to it for the rest of this map.
Yeah, the full combo reset for the Philippines during that section gives Malaysia an opening to build a bit of cushion for themselves. Now 7,000 points, but with the Philippines now above that 400 combo cap, going to be able to stem some of the bleeding here, and this section going to give them both an opportunity to build up some accuracy as well before we dive into the last quarter. It's going to build up, fly off the rails once again. Can Malaysia hang on here?
All eyes on Chiwi. Oh no! As I say that, Chiwi by the
Sani
traded by Sani. And that's gonna keep the lead in Malaysia's favor. Oh, Sani not having a good transition at all. Oji-san finding a break as well. Neo, the only player with any combo right now, holding Malaysia in the lead. It is now 17,000 points of advantage for them. The biggest lead we've seen, period, so far this match.
Like I was saying earlier in this map, that if Neo can just hang on to some semblance of combo, they can make their way through. Their job is done. They find the miss here, but now Chiwi picks up the slack here. 1,700 combo for them. Still able to keep this 18,000 point advantage as Sani trades back that miss. No harm, no foul. Malaysia will take these trades any day of the week as we make our way into the outro. It looked a little bit dicey there in the beginning, but Malaysia able to prove their worth on these LNs, and they're going to notch their first point on the board to make it 1-2 now.
Shoutouts to Neo. That was a really good performance.
Able to beat almost beat both Philippines players. I mean, the fact that they were able to keep Sani in check and just let Chiwi basically just run off and do Chiwi things. We give the plaudits over to Kura to start off, but I mean, the fact that it's basically been this top half versus bottom half battle where the leaders of both these countries just going at it against each other and the supporting cast doing their jobs when needed. It's proving to be a really interesting development in this match so far. And with the Philippines up to pick, we're running out of LN maps here. They do have the hybrids available to them, but which ones do you want to go for to not give Malaysia an opening to potentially take that breakpoint back?
I don't even know if you'd want to risk a hybrid in this case. I still think Rice 5 is maybe the best option available for Philippines right now.
Right now we are still just waiting for the Philippines to throw out their next pick, and it's going to be LN1, so they're going for their protect this time around. Not the worst choice. I mean, definitely no better time than now to really just ensure that you can maintain this one breakpoint advantage. I mean, protected it for a reason. Let's see if they can perform on it.
4 maps straight with these 4 players, by the way.
These teams really don't want to play this rice pool right now.
Yeah.
They are handshaking the lower half of the map pool, and it's interesting. Earlier on in this tournament, I mean, it was mostly rice charts getting picked left and right, but as we move on here, I don't want to say it's down to the difficulty. I think it's more just the respect that these players have for each other in that upper half of the map pool. They know that they can all perform on those maps, so not wanting to take the risk here as we go on to LN1, and Sani finding the first drop here this time around. Again, very early on, gonna have time to recover, but with half the map length of LN5, the room for recovery isn't as generous here.
It certainly isn't. It was before 400, like you said. They're already back well above that 400 combo mark, so the lead is not increasing as much. But Chiwi actually not starting off on the strongest foot. The accuracy not as strong, but Neo picking up the slack, trying to hold off OG-san, matching their accuracy about 10% behind. But Neo does find a break, and that's going to be more impactful than Sani's break, as we see all 3 of the other players in the lobby holding on to combo through this first big PI section.
Yeah, but the accuracy, Neo will find a miss. I was about to say Philippines' accuracy was dropping quite a bit, shifting their lead back to Malaysia, but Neo finding another miss, 7,000 points to Philippines.
Yeah, just coordinate through the section, not the easiest to do, and after coming off of that 4-minute chart, just maybe some physical stamina being tested here as they all make it through that staggered LN section. Continuing on, the density does not relent as we make our way into the last third here. It's still a 6,000 point advantage for the Philippines. Still 2 FCs, 1 apiece, as Neo finds yet another drop, not traded back once again, and the lead grows to 10,000 as Chiwi falls as well. Going into the last quarter now, the Philippines starting to run away with us now as we continue on here.
We've just seen the one break from Sani right in the intro. Other than that, Philippines has been holding extremely strong, but this lead is shrinking still, but Chiwi does find a break to stem that a little bit, though accuracy is still, it's so close, but it's so, I think it's done.
It should be done. This ending, yeah.
Wow, nearly a double full combo from Philippines there.
Yeah, that
was it's just that single miss, right? Yeah.
Not even a miss,
no,
a 50.
50.
3 players, 3 players in the lobby with 0 misses.
This is grand finals, by the way.
And also to point out, Neo's the only player with those misses, and they have the lowest 200 count.
It's just 7 key things.
Yeah,
7 key things.
It just happens.
And now we're back to Malaysia's pick, and we're in an awkward territory. I still think maybe Rise 2, Rise 3, Rise 4 is potential here. If they want to stick with things that are more closely tied to like LN3 and LN5, their other picks, maybe Hybrid 3 is the right pick in this scenario.
Oh, well, you called it.
Right on cue. I mean, these countries definitely have something planned in terms of what they wanted to come into this match with. The results may be modifying things as they continue on this match on the fly, but stylistically, they've both had clear-cut visions as to how they've wanted to attack this map pool, at least on this LN hybrid side. And I think we're kind of touching on it in the build-up, but when we do get to that first rice pick, we're eventually going to run out of these lower half map pool picks.
We've only got 2 left. Like, after this, it's 2. You've got LN2 and Hybrid 2, and then it's all rice left.
Whoever wins that first rice pick, I think, is going to just run away with this. But that is a conversation for then. We'll play Hybrid 3 now. Still no substitutions for either of these countries. I mean, to be fair, Malaysia can't, even if they wanted to. And we'll see how they do. This is a critical moment for Malaysia if they want to maintain some semblance of control in this match.
Yeah, you mentioned not having any swap outs from Malaysia. Saving the Rice Pool for later might make that actually a little bit on the difficult side for Malaysia to keep up. If this comes down to a Rice Pool fight, there are serious stamina concerns that you have to take with Malaysia if the Philippines has a swap out for Sani.
That's a very uncharacteristical miss from OG-san to begin us off. Malaysia have the lead for now.
Yeah, finding it in the lightest section, maybe just being a little bit lackadaisical with their button presses there, but as it stands, Malaysia got the tiniest bit of an advantage, able to maintain the accuracy advantage over their Filipino counterparts, but it's only accounting for about 3,000 points, and we're building up into the next quarter here. Can they maintain their foot on the gas? And Neo finds the drop on the transition into the Speedy Rice section, but they still managed to hold on to the lead. It was a pretty clean drop overall, and they're still ahead in terms of accuracy against Sani, but Neo finding another massive drop as they transition into the LN tier. Still holding on to the lead though.
Only one full combo left. Chiwi's the only player with any real combos. Sani built back up to the 400, but OG-san and Neo still trying to build that up, and it is even Stevens right now.
Margin
okay, that wasn't a drop
down.
for Sani. He was flying. Leads back to Philippines.
Oh my goodness.
Neo, oh my gosh. Traded back with Sani. It's just Chiwi with the FC.
They're fighting back and forth. It is a one-man show at the moment. Chiwi bearing the brunt of some of the hardest patterns of this chart, making it through unscathed to the other side, holding on to the highest accuracy as we begin this next build up to the back half of the chart. Next closest would be OG-san being able to try and mount a bit of a comeback, and Chiwi drops on the transition. Neo falls as well. A full combo reset on the side of Malaysia. Sani falls as well, but OG-san still able to hold on as we continue on into the last third here. As again, another combo reset, this time for the Philippines, and it swings the lead back over to Malaysia. Nobody wants to hang on to the lead at the moment. They're playing tug of war as we make our way into the last quarter here.
And there's 1,000 points of lead for the Philippines right now as we hit this last third. Neo does find a drop in this lighter section. Chiwi find a break in the break section. No combos except for Sani above that 400 combo mark as we transition into the ending of this chart. 3,000 points of lead, accuracy advantage. Actually, I don't know if there is an accuracy advantage, just very close either way. And everyone holding on. OG-san and Sani both finding breaks. Malaysia takes the lead, but Neo trades one of them back, and it's still only about 3,000 points.
It's mental stamina right now.
Oh, just being able to mitigate the damage when the misses do come is of the utmost importance at the moment. Neo finding some slider breaks here in the transition into the last 8, and it is hundreds of points in favor for the Philippines. It harkens back to their match against China, just able to eke out these tiniest advantages. Neo finding another break on the Rice transition, not average just yet, but a massive drop afterwards on the LN runs, going to give Philippines the biggest advantage that they've had in quite a while. 6,000 points in their favor going into the outro here. I think they have done just enough to see themselves over the line as they potentially take another break point in this match to make it 4-1.
That was a roller coaster. Also, Chiwi's accuracy.
Just God.
Casually being half of the second best.
At some point, you're just lost for words in terms of the levels these players push themselves to, because these are hard maps. It cannot be understated just how difficult some of these charts are, and they are just making them look like child's play at times.
Yeah, but the biggest worry now for Malaysia is whether or not Neo is able to keep up with the rest of the pool, because we're already seeing some signs of that in this map.
Yeah, it is Philippines' pick. They've got LN2 and they've got Hybrid 2 available to them. I imagine LN2 is coming out from the Philippines. They're on a 4-1 lead right now. They've won most of the more coordination-heavy maps in this pool, on top of Gario Tensei and Great Out the Anti-Front being more density-focused. So LN2 just feels like the right pick for the Philippines. It feels comfortable for them, and they haven't been having issues taking points on them.
Yep, it is
sure enough.
going to be LN2. Okay. LN coordination.
I mean, they've definitely had the advantage. Looking at something like LN1 went very nicely in their favor, but I mean, you just cannot count out Neo and Chiwi on these charts. It's just, can they hang on just enough to be able to get through some of those misses? Because it feels like they're inevitable with the difficulty of this pool, and putting themselves in a position to capitalize when the Philippines does find those drops. But another pretty short map in the context of the rest of this pool, just over 2 minutes, and these four, the Iron folks, making it through to the 6th map of this best of 13. Philippines 3 points away from locking in a top 2 finish. Malaysia looking to try and start getting back some of these break points. They're really running out of time now to get them back and restore some level of parity in this match.
Yeah, on the bright side for the Malaysian side, it seemed like Neo was having some minor stamina issues toward the end of grayed out of Hybrid 3, and this map is not quite as heavy on the, physicality, though. Neo not having a great time at the start, both Malaysian players finding drops on some of these really awkward mini jack patterns right out the gate, and already a 20,000 point lead for the Philippines, but Oji-san does trade a couple of those misses back and shrinks that lead just enough for Malaysia to feel like they can still remain in this map.
Yeah, Sunny the only one of the FC, 99.3% as Neo does find another drop, as both Philippines players find drops. It's just Chiwi, and not even he can hold on to the combo, so it's a full lobby reset.
Yeah, we're just seeing those happen in more and more perpetuity as this match goes along. It's taxing to even some of the best 7 key players we have in this tournament. 3 players go down during that next section, transitioning into the back half. Another 3-way trade, this time in favor of Malaysia, but again, Chiwi and Sani go down once again. Everybody in that 98% range. We can kind of throw misses out the window. I feel like Philippines has a couple extra to work with in the back pocket as we make our way into the last third now. Fully in the driver's seat with 20,000 points of an advantage and growing now with Chiwi and Neo finding another combo reset.
Yeah, extremely important to know. We usually think Oji-san is the person to look at, but Sani with the MVP accuracy almost back at that 99% range, really pulling up for the team right now on this really awkward mini jack and super strange coordination type LN patterns, and holding on to it to keep that 23,000 point lead for the Philippines through this.
Oh, that lead is slightly shrinking because both Philippines players do find misses, but Neo finds another miss. It will stop the bleeding and Philippines will take it by 11,000 points. And yeah, like you said, shoutouts to Sunny for that. That was a really impressive display.
Yeah, without that performance, I think Malaysia wins this.
Yes.
Yeah, both Neo and Chiwi able to keep a pretty balanced team performance.
And we're in the rice pool! We made it to the rice pool!
Rice 2!
Let's go!
So this is court stream, dense court stream.
Very dense court stream, 210 BPM. And OD 8.5, just that little bit stricter as well to really ensure you're not just lackadaisically playing your way through these patterns. So we'll see if the Philippines are going to make any substitutions. Unlikely given how Sani and Oji-san have been performing, but they do have players in the background ready to come in at a moment's notice. But looks like it's not going to be the case. It's going to be these same 4 players as Philippines looks to try and take yet another break point to make it a match point situation. Malaysia rolling the dice here, venturing off into the upper half of the map pool first. Will they be rewarded for it? Only time will tell here.
I mean, they've got to try something at this point. I definitely don't think they want to do hybrid. They've lost 5 of the 6 LN and hybrid maps that have been played so far. It really had to come down to Rise at some point.
Yeah, for sure. And as we continue on here, this is going to be again, a top half versus bottom half performance. Sani finding the first break in the transition before getting back into the real dense core stream and not being able to get themselves back up with that 400 combo cap. Malaysia still holding on to both FCs. As I say that, Neo drops on the transition, but it's 1-2 now in terms of miscount, and Malaysia still holds on to the advantage, but Chiwi finds a drop as well. Still able to hold on to the lead for the moment, but now Oji-san get brought back into the picture as Sani finds yet another drop. Is it going to be one of those moments where a standout accuracy performance gets dwarfed by a balanced run from the other side? It's still 4,000 points in favor of Malaysia going into the second third here.
Get a little bit of levity here with the less dense patterns. Build a time for the players to build up their combos. Neo looking to get back up that 400. Last player to get there. No one finding any breaks. OG-stan still holding a full combo. Neo finds a break. Lead goes into the favor of the Philippines as we get into some more dense chord stream. Just about 4,000 points of lead, but Sani finds a pretty big break, and Malaysia holds on to a very tiny lead with Neo getting back up to the 400 combo.
Yeah, Sani's MVP performance from the previous map could be overshadowed here, but both Malaysian players drop. OG's son for FC 9.76, and Philippines have this very shallow lead.
Accuracy lead still in favor of Malaysia. It's all on the back of the misses. OG-san doing a wonderful job, not dropping any combos, still with the full combo, keeping a 3,000 point lead. Sani finds a break though. That lead's going to shrink just a little bit. We're coming into the final few patterns of this map. One final little section. Chiwi finds a break, trading Sani's back. Neo drops as well. It's going to give Philippines just a little bit of comfort as we get into the final, most dense section of the map. And Philippines looks like they might just take it.
Running out of steam here. Sani finds a double break, halves that lead in an instant. Neo trades one of them back. Can they hang on? And they do.
What is that?
Wait, that's a full combo. Three 200. No.
What? No, like here's the thing. Like seeing FCs in the grand finals is already like insane enough. 990k. This is a score you'd see in like freaking round of 24. Not now.
I am waving to the air because OG-san has left the stratosphere. He has joined the realm of the extraterrestrials. Goodbye. Have a wonderful time.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but that's just what Kura does, and I'm still baffled.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, match point.
It is match point, and it's on Philippines' pick. They have the pick of the litter to go with try and get this last point and guarantee themselves a date with South Korea.
Oh my goodness, that was a performance. I mean, Malaysia had to roll the dice there, going for Rice 2. Maybe some questions to be asked about, do they go for one of the other ones? But that felt like their best opportunity to try and do something outside of maybe Rice 4. But, I mean, when you have that level of performance, it teetered on the fact that if Kura misses at any point during that chart, that lead just shoots back on over to Malaysia's side because of the fact that they had the accuracy advantage over Sani that entire time.
And we're finishing off the high
Oh my god.
Philippines hoping to end this with 7 non-Rice picks picked and 1 Rice pick in the whole match. Well, but these have pretty much all been ridiculously close. The biggest difference in score was Malaysia's win on LN5 by 21,000 points. And that was still close enough that 1.5 misses on that could have swapped it right back.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, this is arguably the hardest hybrid of the pool.
Like, yeah, it's an awkward position there. Like, the score says 1-6. That is not what the match is. That's not how this match actually went. Multiple maps that were won by 4,000 or 5,000 points within range of even singular misses to make differences.
At the end of the day, the situation stays the same. Philippines on the cusp of closing this match out. Malaysia needing to virtually reverse sweep their way through the rest of this match to make it to at least the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I mean, they needed 6 points in a row to stay alive in this tournament. That's just the situation they're in. With the sixth point in that sequence being the tiebreaker. And that is not a joke, especially with that ending.
Absolutely. But right now, strong start for Malaysia. Sunny not having the best of starts. Kura not having the best of starts either. Both of them down into that 98% range. Chiwi, only player above that 99% mark. Despite the misses, a triple miss across the board. A full lobby reset when all is said and done. But Malaysia hangs on to the lead. 12,000 points the advantage as we make our way through this intro.
Yeah, this could be once again another battle of top versus bottom. And Malaysia are winning out on both fronts, but Neo does find another miss, and Chiwi as well. The lead will shrink ever so slightly.
And the way that this is going so far, kind of the same thing we've been seeing all match. The top two players fighting for accuracy, the bottom two players fighting for accuracy, but Malaysia finding, despite potentially having a higher accuracy, finding way more misses than the Philippines side, and that combo advantage has been giving Philippines just the slightest bit of edge that they needed. And with that combo that they've been able to hold, Sani now above 400, this lead is just about to shrink to that 1,000 point mark in this break.
Yeah, once we start seeing players get above that 400 combo cap, we'll start to see wild swings one way or the other. We can already see the Philippines starting to claw back this advantage, but Sani finds a break on this LN wall. Neo trades it back, but it restores the advantage that Malaysia had going into that break. It is 8,000 points in their favor going into the last third. Not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, as a triple miss befalls the lobby. Kura once again hanging on through some of the hardest sections of this chart with a quarter of the map left to go, and it's still more drops across the board. Sani and Neo trading once again, but Kura falls into the last quarter. Chiwi picks up the mantle, 700 combo, the only person above that 400 combo cap as we continue on here. 1,000 points, but it is still swinging. It's anybody's game going into this last eighth.
Oh my god, and Neo fighting multiple breaks. Sani trading one back. Those two players now having a great time. Huge drop from OG-san and Sani. 7,000, 8,000 points. As we get into the final right section of this map, 13,000 points. Chiwi holding on to the 1,700 combos in this ending. Might just carry Malaysia to survive for another point. They just have to hold, and it might just be another 20,000 point victory for Malaysia, and they're not done yet.
That is a huge performance for Chiwi, a survivor's chance for Chiwi and Malaysia to still stay alive in this World Cup, and every single map so far has been settled in the last like half a minute. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. It's basically a boxing match. Somebody throws a haymaker to start off, and then they just duke it out during the middle sections, and then somebody just lands the uppercut to finish the map out. And these score differences at the end of these charts just do not tell the story of how these maps are going. People are going to look at the match report and see like, oh, Malaysia won by 20,000, Philippines won by 30,000 here, 10,000 there. But the margins at certain points in the midpoints of these maps are literally swings of hundreds of points one way or the other. And as we were talking, the next Rice map gets pulled out. It's gonna be Rice 6.
Rice 6, we've only got Rice picks left. We've only got Rice left.
Oh man.
These two teams did the best they could to avoid it. Malaysia thinking that potentially Rice 6 is their best opportunity to stay alive, but Philippines has their pick of the litter as well. They'll have at least 2 more picks on top of that. Malaysia's still in a deep hole that they need to climb out of.
But crucially, they kept themselves alive for at least one more map. They got the first break point on the board. Many more left to come, though. But going into this mixed Rice pick, we've seen some level of difficulty from these Philippine players on these sorts of Grace Note flam heavy type of patterns, and we're starting to see it come to fruition once again. Chiwi and Neo able to kind of tank their way through it and capitalize on these misses from the Philippines. It is 5,000 points in their favor as we transition on through the rest of this introduction.
Yeah, extremely difficult patterns. Neo and Sani do trade the misses back. Chiwi above 400 combo to match OG-san. That accuracy from Chiwi helping keep Malaysia in the lead. Neo outclassing Sani in terms of accuracy on this Rice pick, and they said it was for the meme, but this may turn out to be exactly what Malaysia needed.
Yeah, Sani dipping down to 98%, pick up another miss and another one at that as we go into a rest section. 30,000 points to the favor of Malaysia.
That was a nasty transition out of that section. All those grace notes just littered with hundreds and 200s, just not able to act their way through it, and it drops them down into the 96% range briefly before they climb back up into the 97s. But right now, Neo a full 1.5% ahead of Sunny, and all Chiwi has to do is just maintain. They can find misses here and there, but so long as they're able to keep Jisan in check in terms of accuracy, Malaysia are gonna be able to maintain this cushion. It is still 30,000 points in their favor going into the last third here.
Chiwi does find a break, double miss from the Malaysian side. Everyone, though, finding huge issues with this chorus section as the density and pattern structure changes to vary quite a bit. This is just so mind-blockable, too. So many of these patterns, but it's such a huge lead right now, and no one's really able to find any footing. OG-san and Chiwi just now getting above the 400 combo, but it's 40,000 points, and I don't think much can happen to give Philippines the lead here.
Yeah, this has to be the most decisive point we've seen so far in this match. And
no,
well,
we can't talk yet.
I mean, Sani's accuracy is like 96. Is far off from anybody but
no,
Chiwi.
No.
It's not over till it's over. Do not take your hands off.
It's not over till it's over. That was a 40,000 point lead that just shrunk to 17,000 in the end.
But again, Malaysia doing just enough. Oji-san MVP in that lobby.
What is that?
950k, just casually 950k. Everybody else in the low 900s, 800ks. But not enough at the end of the day. The supporting combo wasn't there. The supporting score wasn't there for the Philippines this time around. And yes, Malaysia picked Rice 6 for the meme, but these mixed Rice picks, these, like I mentioned, these technical patterns have really been giving the Philippines some trouble during some of these maps. And that was the first real showcase of a map that was fully that, and it's the most arguably the most convincing performance from Malaysia so far this match. It's 6-3.
I think maybe the only map that Philippines would feel comfortable with in the Rice pool left is Rice 3. I think that's the only pick that they can really go with.
I'm inclined to agree with that. I feel like Rice 4 is so 50.
Yes, Bucky, you're saying?
This how many times can you flip a coin and have it land on the same result in a row?
This is so stressful.
I mean, this is Osmania. We've seen the coin land on its side many times already.
You know, you're not wrong. That is the truest statement, and we're going to see either a full lobby 990k, or we're gonna see a multitude of misses and heart in mouth moments.
Grab yourselves.
Or Jack is so black and white.
Like this background.
Like this background.
What's interesting about this map too is that it's not a stamina test. There's pretty much no requirement for stamina through this because the really, really dense core jack parts last about 30-40 seconds, maybe not even that, and then there's like a full minute of break time, and then it goes into the ending where the density peaks. So stamina is not going to be an issue, which we saw a little bit with Sonny in the previous map on that technical stamina kind of esque patterning. But everyone kind of holding on through this right now. Accuracy slightly favoring the Philippines, it looks like. But Sani finding another break, giving that 6,000 point lead to Malaysia as we get into the extremely long break.
Now, Chiwi actually holding the less of the accuracy in Malaysia, with Neo holding the higher. And that's 11,000 points to Malaysia just because of the misses from Sani. And Oji-san is trying to cancel out Neo. We do have this break section now.
Yeah, it's the fact that Chiwi's holding on to the sole FC in this lobby as it stands. 3 of the 4 players went down through that introduction. And the fact that they were able to hold on to basically 800 notes worth of bonus score is accounting for this 12,000 point advantage. But Philippines has plenty of time to start chipping away at that lead. Neither Malaysian player is allowed to blink. Nobody is allowed to find that accuracy drop because it will swing to the right-hand side in an instant as we get into the densest part of this chart. A quarter of the map left to go, and Chiwi falls!
Oh no!
Oh, falls again! That's good. Is Philippines gonna take the lead of this? It's so close. Chiwi finds another break. Sani trades it. It's just Neo and Oji-san holding on to the lead, or holding on to the combo right now. Sani finds a big break as well, gives Malaysia a slight lead, but it's so close! I can't tell what's happening! Double miss! Oh my goodness!
Is there enough time?
Oh my goodness!
Malaysia just somehow take it, even though OG-san's accuracy, hello?
3200s! What's going on?
And it wasn't enough! And it wasn't enough! Malaysia have climbed back from 1 to 6. Now they are 4 to 6, and now they are believing. They could believe.
Now they can believe. They have taken the second breakpoint.
They gotta pick Rice 7 here. I think it'd be funny if they picked Rice 5. I don't think that's the right pick, but it would be funny. Don't pick Rice 3. Please, Malaysia. Please don't do that to me.
They have been living off of these funny picks throughout this back half of the match. They picked Rice 6 for the memes.
That is true.
When the expectation goes out the window, they have really just come to life here on these Rice picks, and I'm not sure what the pick is. They have.
Okay, the right pick is Rice 7, but that doesn't mean that that's what Malaysia's gonna pick.
It's not about what's right. It's about what's funny.
It's like using your brain and using your heart. Which one do you trust more?
That's so true. My heart says Rice 5. I want to see it so bad.
Alright, Malaysia. This is your final pick, by the way. Their final pick in the match.
Oh, it's true. This is the most important pick for Malaysia. They will have no recourse after this. They will live with the consequences of their decision, one way or the other. Because they still need to get that breakpoint, that last breakpoint, with the Philippines still.
Yes, they listen to their hearts. No.
They're listening to their hearts. They say they won this tiebreaker. They're going for Asterisk as their final pick against Philippines. Alright. Please don't like this.
Keep in mind, Malaysia banned Rice 1. Like...
Oh man. This match has everything.
Absolutely. This has definitely lived up to the billing so far. This is similar to how Rice 4 teeters on a knife's edge because of the fact that everybody knows how to play Core Jack. This is going to teeter on a knife's edge because it is one of the shortest maps in this pool.
This is the map with the most carry potential. If someone gets like single-digit misses on this, I think that team wins. Like straight out.
Absolutely.
So let's find out and see. 100 seconds of this.
Basically, don't blink. Neo finding the first drop, a second one to boot through the introduction. Nobody's crossed that 400 combo cap, so not the most amount of damage to be done. And it definitely gives Malaysia an opportunity to claw back some of the advantage because of the fact that Sani finds the miss as well. There are players languishing, 3 players languishing in this 97% range. Chiwi stands alone in that 98% mark for the moment. Kura does climb back up to it to try and contest, but it is going to swing one way or the other as a full the Philippines, and it's now 9,000 points in favor of Malaysia as Neo continues to find drops.
Huge drop. Chiwi finds a drop, and that was such a big jump. 20,000 points in favor of the Philippines right now as Neo just struggles to find their footing there. Accuracy leader is Chiwi at the moment, but the combo breaks are enough. OG-san does find a break. Chiwi's building up, but Sani neutralizing Chiwi for the time being, but that's another miss, and the lead is shrinking again.
It could be all on Chiwi, but it also could be all on Neo as well. Chiwi and Neo both find misses. Everyone's just finding misses at this point.
It's not over until it's over.
We have a quarter of the map left. We've seen it swing really quickly, and it's
shrinking.
It's swinging really quickly.
Oh my gosh! Sani dropped so much. Their accuracy is the same as Neo as they find another miss.
And OG-san finds a miss too.
Malaysia take it back. Are you kidding me?
Still some really aggravating patterns to read through. I think the worst of it is done, but they cannot afford to
Neo finds a break!
Neo, no, not like this. If they
10,000
hold on,
points.
it's done.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness!
Malaysia, 5-6.
Happening?
5-6. Philippines have one more map.
What did I say? What did I say? One person gets
Single
less than 10
digit
misses, and they're gonna win.
One more map. Are we going the distance, or is Philippines booking their ticket to the grand
Please,
finals?
Philippines, if you pick Rice 7, I don't know what to say. There's two picks. It's Rice 3 or Rice 7. And the Philippines already won Rice 2. They already did that. They can win another card stream pick.
Okay, but again, do you follow your brain? Do you follow your heart?
I
The
mean,
heart says Rice 7. The brain says Rice 3. What are they going to listen? It has to be Rice 3. They won Rice 2 so convincingly. It's just another rehash of it. It's their best opportunity to avoid going into Disanimate. Oh, my heart can't take this.
Malaysia listen to their heart. Will Philippines listen to theirs?
No, they're about to pick Rice 7. No, don't do it.
Aquin.
They just said stamina. Don't pick Rice. No!
It's Rice 7.
Rice gets ignored. I can't
Oh
believe
my
this.
gosh. And to top this entire match off, we have a 4-minute Rice match. Oh
It's just
dear.
the icing on the cake at this point.
Oh dear.
It's one of the... We're not going to see... Well, I say this with the most amount of quotation marks. We're not going to see wild swings in this chart. The fact that it's over 4 minutes, if somebody establishes a foothold and manages to keep the rest of their run clean, the comeback potential is so much lower than what we just saw, where we saw a 20,000 point lead evaporate. That being said, this match has had everything.
I can't believe neither of these teams used their timeout.
They do know it exists, right? I've seen
don't know.
both of these countries use them before, but
I swear, playing at midnight maybe scrambles your brains a bit.
maybe. There is no semblance of getting cold when you're past the midnight hour. But with that being said, the final regulation pick in this match is now underway. No substitutions for the Philippines. Malaysia, the dynamic duo, looking to best their best performance in this tournament. They need to take this break point to force the tiebreaker to come out, to give themselves a chance at South Korea. Neo finds the first drop. It's still very early on, but it will give the Philippines a tiny bit of a cushion to work with as Sani trades it back, and that advantage is gone.
Yeah, Sani actually missing right around that 400 combo mark, which means Neo's miss is going to be much less impactful than that one. So Malaysia going to hold on to a small lead on top of the accuracy advantage they have right out of the gate. Neo even beating OG-san out for the accuracy. So Malaysia very comfortable in their position right now.
Yeah, another drop of Sunny and Neo both trading. It's just, once again, top versus bottom.
Yeah, I feel like the conversation has to shift to this battle between Chiwi and OG-san. They have been duking it out this entire match, and it is straight sevens on that break before we make our way into the second quarter of the chart. It is 0.1% the advantage Chiwi has over OG-san at the moment. Neo has a couple of misses in the back pocket, over almost a full percent of an advantage over Sani at the moment, but it's still early doors. Chiwi is the first one to blink. A full combo reset on the side of Malaysia as we continue on here.
OG-san looking to repeat that performance on Rice 2, holding on to the FC a third of the way through. It is still going to be Malaysia's lead, about 9,000 points, as Chiwi does find another break, shrinks it just a little bit. One break is only going to cost him about 1,000 to 2,000 points. Neo does add on to that, though, as Sani finds a little bit of footing above the 400 combo mark, as OG-san also still holds on to that full combo as we're approaching the halfway point. But OG-san breaks!
And Chiwi trades it back and just... Oh, no one has combo. Nobody in this lobby has combo as the lead. 4,000 points. We are halfway in a 4-minute map and it's 4,000 points separating these two. Oh, and there's more breaks. OG-san, the only player with substantial combo.
Nobody... Just now, Kura makes it up over that 400 combo cap. It is still 3,000 points in favor of Malaysia continuing on here. Accuracy can go by the wayside. Now it's just a war of attrition. Who can keep that miscount to an absolute minimum? You are not allowed to find chain misses because it will ruin your team's overall score as we make our way into the last third here. It is still Malaysia in control of this pick as it stands, but it is not a comfortable lead by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not comfortable. Everyone holding on to combo. That transition not catching anyone off guard.
Wow.
Accuracy advantage in favor of Malaysia right now. Sani does find a break to extend that lead to 10,000 points for Malaysia as both players on the Malaysian side finding no issues, both above 1,500 combo. Sani finding another break. OG-san doing everything they can to keep up with the Malaysian side in this final quarter, but they are really locking it down. They're really looking for that tiebreaker, but Neo finds a break.
The stamina is gonna catch up to some of them soon, especially Neo and Sani.
Yeah, but right now, Neo has been lights out during this chart, able to keep themselves ahead of Sani for the moment. Chiwi is still keeping Kura in check. Neo finds yet another drop. It does shrink the lead ever so slightly. It is still 14,000 points in their favor as we get into the most Grace Note Flam heavy portion of this chart. But Neo finds a multitude of misses. Sani trades one of them back, but they manage to maintain their advantage. I feel like Malaysia has done just enough here during this outro. And guys, I see the tiebreaker on the horizon. Surely they have done enough. 20,000 points. Kura falls, and we are going to tiebreaker from the depths of elimination. Malaysia was down with only 1 point to their name. They found the break points that they needed, and we find ourselves here, locked 6-6.
I think, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
1-6, 5
1
points
to
in a row. 5 points in a row for Malaysia to bring it to the tiebreaker. And they get it done.
And we see this animate for the first time in our first match of the grand finals. And like, we have to commend every single player. I think every single player so far in this lobby has, like, in one way or another, done something substantial to give their team a point, which has led to this moment.
Everybody has pulled their weight. We've had standout performances. We've had Kura MVPing things. We've had Chiwi MVPing things. We've had Neo and Sani both delivering as the second player for their countries some standout performances to really get their teams over the line. But all cards have to be on the table now. It is all in time for these two countries. South Korea awaits the winner of this tiebreaker. There is no going back from here.
Yep, one team will advance to the top two. The other team will feel disanimated by the end of this 5-minute tiebreaker. Custom song, no less. We are going into this hot. Let's go.
And keep in mind that I don't think this map is going to be super impactful for the first, like, 3 quarters of it. Like, we'll get an idea of where the players are, but that ending is absolutely brutal. Everything can change once we get there. But it's going to be all about whether these players can hold on through the rest of the map to keep themselves with a chance to make it through the hardest sections of this map.
If the lead is inside of 5 digits going into that last quarter, all bets are off.
Oh no.
Important to note, 2 players with no fail. Wisely putting no fail on.
It's the build-up to what will be the end of this match. Everybody makes it through that introduction. The transition handled almost beautifully by everybody. Neo finding the first number of drops here. in the lobby does give the Philippines a tiny bit of a cushion to work with, but it is the yeoman's work of Chiwi at the moment, the accuracy above everybody else, able to keep this lead in check as the trades begin to occur, and we are moving on into the second quarter of this chart now.
Double full combo through that first quarter by never mind!
No.
Oji-san and Sani find a break simultaneously as we get into the first difficult LN section as we find a full lobby wipe. Everyone finding problems with this sweepy LN section.
And we've seen it before. There are other songs in this pool that have these similar structures, and everybody finds difficulty through them. They are incredibly hard to
Except Neo!
through.
Getting up to that 900 combo before breaking out, Oji-san taking the reins. Chiwi also having good combo here. 9,000 points of lead for Malaysia as the top of our screen attempt to recover. Sani back up above 400 combo. Neo also above 400. Now it's all an accuracy game, which is so hard to tell, right? It looks like Malaysia has the accuracy advantage, but I can't tell.
It should
On
be
average.
Malaysia's, yeah, on average. Sani is well below 98. Both players, Malaysia, almost having the same accuracy, and Oji-san just a little bit above Neo, so... yeah, it is going to be Malaysia for now. We are halfway through this gauntlet, and Neo finds a miss right at the end of the LN section.
Transitioning back into a more rice-oriented section does work in favor of Malaysia for the moment. Sani trades that miss before too long, diving back into the LNs, and now Neo's turn to find the drops. But on the transitions, it's going to be this rice versus LN battle during these sections. Who can hang on? Chiwi, the only player standing throughout. All three other players finding drops as we transition on into the back half, and this is paying dividends for Malaysia at the moment, growing their advantage to about 20,000 points, giving themselves a bit of cushion to work with the last quarter of the map on the horizon here.
Oh my goodness, how did he have see through that?
Yeah, Chiwi is just absolutely running away, but Neo kept on getting like multiple misses, but they were clean as compared to Sani's. And with the help of Chiwi as well, Malaysia, 20,000 points.
Got a
What is
little
this
bit of a
run for
break
Chiwi
section.
so far?
But we're coming up to the ending, 20,000 points. No guarantee that you're going to be able to hold that lead through the ending. As we get through this transition, it's going to start building up and really push you. Who is going to be able to survive through this ending? That's the real question we need to ask ourselves.
We are in for some fireworks here. We are going to see players pop left and right. Neo, the first one to drop as we make our way through this dense core stream section. Sani finds a multitude of misses in response. The lead grows for Malaysia, but Neo starting to trade some of those misses back. Chiwi falls after 5,000 combo almost, but everybody else trades in return. Malaysia trying to hang on to this advantage as we get into the hardest section of this chart. Still 23,000 points in the lead, but a full combo reset for Malaysia. Multitudes as Philippines trying to claw back some of this lead. There's still an eighth of the chart left to go, but Malaysia is holding strong, building on this advantage. Still 26,000 points ahead through this outro. Can they do it? Can they survive this final onslaught?
This
And
lead's
it's looking
growing,
like-
by the way.
It does look
It's
like it's
growing.
continuing to grow, but now it's shrinking just a little bit. There's still a little bit left in this map that can be very difficult, but no combo is safe right now. No one is finding any footing. Malaysia holding onto a 30,000 point lead right now as everyone continues to find breaks in this ending. Final flourish of long notes, and it shrinks just a little bit. It's
Oh, just-
down to
Just
20,000.
a pull a dent, but it is not going to be enough.
It's not enough.
The last couple of notes rain down on what is going to go down as one of the greatest comebacks in this tournament.
say-
The Philippines did it to China last weekend. Malaysia has just accomplished it against the Philippines. Malaysia booked their ticket into winners grand finals by a score of 7-6.
They were down 1-6. They had to claw their way back, picking rice map after rice map after rice map. 2-6, 3-6, 4-6, then we believed 5-6, 6-6. And even with an MVP performance from Kura, not enough to topple down the dynamic duo. A 2-player roster in the grand finals. How?
And the best performance in any Mania World Cup that Malaysia has ever performed. What
They are-
a performance!
This duo has toiled with this tournament for years now. They've had support in the past, but these two have been the standout performers for Malaysia, and they have been rewarded for their efforts. A top 2 finish guaranteed in this year's 7-Key World Cup. Commiserations to the Philippines, not going to be able to defend their crown from last year, but man, did they deliver some incredible performances this tournament.
I want to give a few words about the Philippines as well, like especially with some of the players that were brought in for this roster, with Arquin Olivirus, who is a veteran of the Osmania scene. I think playing since the very beginning, 2014, now getting his very first World Cup badge, I think is something that has to be said here on this stream, as Philippines do take the 3rd place badge, the 3rd place on the podium of the 7K World Cup this year.
And we're left with just one match in the Osmania 7Key World Cup 2024. We've got Malaysia coming up from the losers bracket to face off against South Korea in winners grand finals. And if Malaysia wants to take home that gold medal, they're going to have to take down South Korea twice. That's going to be a rough ask for anyone, and I imagine they're going to be looking up to the task. But a 2-man roster, it's going to be tough.
I mean, we've seen David versus Goliath before. Can David win this time around? The match will take place at 11:45 UTC on Sunday, 18 hours from now, so plenty of time for everybody to catch their breath, just take in what we just saw. And unless you guys have anything else left to add.
I think that's about it. What an intense start to this weekend, and we can only hope that it continues in the next match.
So until
I echo the words of Toph. I think we've talked enough. we went all the way the distance, and all that's left is to wait 18 hours for one final match.
So until then, we'll catch you guys later.